On assignment.
And I guess I failed my assignment.
Yeah, I guess
as far as I didn't come back with any recruits for the
Thankfully, you're not getting paid, so we can't
We talked about that.
you.
We said maybe he's been gone for 2 podcasts. Maybe he's just done. You know, we should fire him, but we're not getting paid anyway. So
But that being said, I did watch while I was in Argentina. I did watch a lot of soccer.
Good.
And I enjoyed some craft beers. So
good.
It was a good trip all in general. I will say this though, if you're going to Argentina, if you have to drive, be careful because you got to keep your head on a swivel.
Well, I'm sure
driving's a bit difficult.
Gorillas.
No, it was completely safe, but there's no rules. It's organized chaos when it comes to driving.
When I say gorillas, I mean
literally gorillas.
No, the military.
No.
I was going to say, I don't think they're gorillas.
No, there's no gorillas in Argentina.
No.
Just to let you know.
Argentina is a completely safe country.
Okay.
It's fine. I felt completely.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. I loved Argentina. It was my first trip to Argentina and South America in general. I can't wait to go back. I honestly can't. It was a fantastic trip.
We're glad to have you back. Like I said, Dave Sterling and I missed you. 2 weeks ago, we missed you. I want to talk a little bit about my experience yesterday in New Ulm. I was there for Oktoberfest. They do it 2 weeks in October. Went to Schell's Brewing, had a good time. Went to their Star Keller Brewery, which is part of Schell's, but it's their Noble Star Series, which is sour beers, which I'm a big sour beer fan. Got to go there. And if anybody listens to this podcast has an opportunity to go to Oktoberfest, there's numerous ones around here. Johnny went, Sterling, you went to an Oktoberfest in St. Paul.
Yep.
But New Ulm's a whole different beast because Schell's runs that town, and they're a German beer company. So they have all the German, they have the costume people and the other. It's a crazy time down there. So if you ever have the opportunity to go down there for Oktoberfest, please do.
Are there a lot of women in drindles, the dresses?
There's a lot of women and men. There's lederhosens. Everybody's got something.
I thought you were going to say men wearing the dresses.
I didn't see any of those yesterday. That's more I think Minneapolis. You probably find that. But everybody's wearing their costumes and stuff. They're doing the whole thing. And the nice thing about that place is Schell's Brewery, guys. No, it's a big brewery.
Oh yeah.
But the owner of Schell's Brewery, Marty, he was actually at the festivities at the hotel yesterday, just sitting there talking to people. So you can walk out and be like, "Hey, Mr. Marty, Schell's is great."
Nice.
And he's like, "Well, thank you guys, appreciate it." Very open guy. Him and his whole family are very open. They're downtown, they're everywhere. The Martys are a big thing in New Ulm.
Yeah.
And I've been doing it now for 8 years. I think Nels and his friends or buddies have been doing it for a long time more. So there is a lot of noise here.
It's gotten a bit rowdier.
Yeah. There's a birthday party going on in the back.
Well, what's funny is that's not the people that are rowdy.
Well, who's being loud then?
They're right over here. They were standing next to me while I was in line getting the shirt.
There's women being loud and screaming.
Yeah.
It happens. So let's get on to...
I think they actually just recognized me. I think that's what's going on.
They did?
Yeah, they recognized me, yeah.
Oh, they did, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Wait, they know you?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, so you're just waving at them?
He's waving for no reason, of course. We're going to talk about a little bit about the grades, and Stevens actually said it. We talked about this on the last podcast.
Yeah.
But Chris Wright had said all the general manager, everybody got a passing grade. But then after these last 2 weeks, I mean...
Well, I will say this as someone who listened to your podcast episode. I think you guys actually put it very well. I think the way you described it, the way you described the grades is really good.
Yeah.
In the sense that, okay, maybe they got passing grades, but they didn't get an A.
No.
They probably didn't get a B.
No.
And like Dave, I think you mentioned, maybe they got a C minus.
Yeah, potentially.
And listening to you guys, from episode 15, in my opinion, I call it a passing grade, but I don't think that's good enough. I really don't. I really don't.
Yeah, I think about it in the sense that in my MBA program, anything C and up is passing.
Yeah.
D is failing. But I would never be happy with a C.
I wouldn't either.
I mean, call me crazy, but
when you're running a major league sports team and you get a passing grade, that's not a good thing.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe people are reading into what it means to be passing.
Yeah.
I mean, when Chris Wright says that they're passing, is that really necessarily a good thing? I mean,
no.
I think a lot of people are suggesting that that's a good thing, but I don't know that necessarily says that.
No, and I think we need to put it in perspective as far as most of our listeners are concerned. I mean, like, this is a fan podcast. I mean, the bottom line is, you know, we're in year 2. The United missed out on the playoffs for the second consecutive year.
Yeah.
They failed.
They did.
I think we're not talking sunglasses. Thank you. I think we need to talk about this as more of a pass-fail situation because that's what it is.
Yeah,
Either you make the playoffs or you don't. So they failed, in my opinion. Now, okay, I'm just saying that they failed. Does that mean, and I think you guys brought this up last week, or 2 weeks ago, you don't necessarily need to clean house and fire everybody.
No.
But let's make everything clear here. They failed, right? Did they not?
Right.
They failed, yeah.
So that doesn't mean you need to fire everybody, but let's not, like, prop this up more than it is.
Yeah, you know, I think back to 1999, my first year in college. I got a 1.8 GPA. Now, pretty much everyone that's failing. But the university said, hey, you can come back.
Yeah.
Because, so you had a bad semester.
Yeah.
So, again, we can say that they failed. But that's not going to make me say they shouldn't come back because they have an opportunity to fix it.
They do. They have, of course they do.
I'm going to immediately say that that's okay.
Yeah, and are we going to talk about it right now? Like, what do they need to do to correct their grade?
I think we talked about it. There's things in the offseason they need to do.
Yeah.
There are players. Let's talk about that a little bit. There are players on this team right now who should not be here next year.
Agreed.
Of course, number one, topic, Alexi Gomez will not be here next year, and he shouldn't be here next year.
He better not.
He's on loan. If he is here next year, we have issues.
It's almost laughable. I was trying to prop him up. I was trying my best as the optimist of this podcast to, like, give you reasons why he should be here, why he's an asset to this team. But
he's
honestly,
not.
I can't. I can't sit here any longer and tell you why he should be on this team.
And we've seen the plays today. Prime example of today's game.
Heavy touch.
He had the ball in the corner of the I don't know what you'd call it, but he was supposed to do a cross at some point. Defender came up on him. He should have done a cross right away. He should have done a quick cross and just gotten the ball out.
Right.
But he decided to try to do some fancy moves, and then the defender just took the ball away from him.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the type of shit he does.
Right. And it's not unusual to see him do that. Because there was another time, I would say it was second half. No. Yeah, it was second half. And I want to say it was kind of early in the second half. He got the ball, took like, I don't know, maybe 2 steps because he probably, touched it out maybe 5 yards from him. And he got it one more touch in, and the defender just swiped it right away from him.
Yeah.
Because he went directly at him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, why would you do that? If the left side isn't open, then don't go down the left side.
I don't know if I've said this on this podcast before, but every time Alexi Gomez gets the ball in my head, I go,
I think you have said that.
Yeah, okay. I
And
said
done the music and everything.
And I'll say it again. That's what happens.
Go ahead and do it again, because
that's what happens.
I think it is appropriate. I think you're right. Yeah.
So Alexi Gomez, he's gone next year.
Yeah.
We talked in the break about Ibsen.
Yeah, I think he'll be gone.
Is Ibsen, he's gone?
I think so. I mean, I think he should be. I like the guy.
Yeah.
He has those flashes where it's like, oh yeah, that's Ibsen.
Yeah.
And I think he was a good substitute today, actually.
I think he's a good substitute.
Yeah.
I don't think he should be starting anymore.
No, I don't think so either. And
As a sub, I think he's good.
Depending on how ingrained he is with Minnesota, I think his family's up here. I think his kids go to school up here. I mean,
Sure.
if that's the case, and he's going to be used as a substitute, and he's not making that much money, okay,
Bring him back.
fine.
Then, yeah.
But he does not belong on a starting 11.
No.
And he does not belong commanding a wage that's anywhere near the middle of the pack.
No. So those two players, I think. Well, we know Gomez is gone. Ibsen, bring back as a sub.
Yeah.
That's that. I think we won't get into this right now, but I think next podcast we get into that. We'll get into some more players. I think we'll bring back. There are, of course, some guys who we know are coming back next year that should come back.
Right.
But there's some other kind of
Fringe.
gray area type guys who maybe we upgrade from them, maybe we don't. I don't know. But we talked about this before. I think that in the last couple months we have made some gains. We have picked up some guys who can be great guys for this team.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think Romario is...
Yeah.
I mean, from what we've seen of him, I think it's fantastic.
I think so, too. And I like Angelo Rodriguez because my dad's name is Angelo, so I like Angelo.
There's some potential there. In fact, I got to bring this up. I want to back it up just a little bit. And, Angelo Rodriguez, if there was a bright spot, me, Mr. Brightside, if there was a bright spot from the Philadelphia game, actually, it was Angelo Rodriguez.
Yeah.
And again, I watched the condensed game, but I had to go back as a stats guy and look at the stats. And guess what? His Audi index was the highest out of any player on the United.
Nice.
Yeah, from the Philadelphia match.
And the funny thing is, sorry,
he
Dave.
actually scored a 579. Now, obviously, if you remember, Angelo Rodriguez in the Philadelphia game, he actually had the assist on Quintaro's goal.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So that helped out significantly, but then he actually had his passing was really good that game, and that's why he actually got a 579, which is miles above the next United player.
So to add to that, I went out and I checked his key passes.
Yep.
So key passes are anything that ends in an assist, shot on goal. I think there's some other measurements. And so he had 4 key passes.
Yeah.
Which
and that's what got him.
good.
And that's what gave him the higher Audi index of the match.
I mean, when we signed Angelo Rodriguez, remember we talked about his background for him was doesn't score any goals. What are we going to do with this guy?
Right.
And he came out in that one game and had 2 goals. He had a goal last week. Almost had a goal today.
Yep.
So I think that this guy actually is a good player.
Well,
I think so.
the 2 guys behind us at the stadium, they kept talking about how strong he is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's incredible to watch him back up against an opponent.
Yeah.
And that dude can control the ball.
Yeah, you got.
He was fending off 2 guys at some points.
Wow.
And still managing to tip it out. There was one time in the second half that he backed up against, I think it was just 1 guy, maybe 2. And he towed the ball out like about half a yard.
Yeah.
Stepped away from the guys, the defenders, and then cut in and made a run at goal.
Yeah.
And that's what you want.
Yeah,
that's what we want here.
And help me out, Sterling. I'm drawing a complete blank, but at one point a few months ago, I compared Angelo Rodriguez to U.S. men's national player forward. Josie Altidore. And I don't know if that's completely fair to say, but when I first saw him, that's what I thought of, because he's big. He's a bigger guy that can make those runs right through the defense.
Right.
Yeah. And maybe,
Yeah, I think that's fair, because it's something that we didn't have with Christian Ramirez.
No, we didn't.
Because, I mean, again, love Christian Ramirez. I think he's a very talented player. But the strength is just night and day.
They're different players.
Yeah,
They are.